Welcome back to our channel, Coin Enthusiasts. First up, the 1957 large date with a D mint mark. And not just any 1957 one penny, but one in full damage condition, so if you're a collector or just curious about the value of damaged coins, stick around. Let's start with some background. The Lincoln Wheat 1 penny was first minted in 1909, and it features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. By 1957, the series was nearing its end, with the coin's design transitioning to the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. The 1957 penny is part of the last year of the wheat design, which adds to its collectible charm. Now, the 1957 one penny with a large date and D mint mark is a bit special. The large date refers to the size of the numbers in the year, which are larger compared to the small date version, and the D mint mark indicates it was minted in Denver. Typically, collectors seek coins in excellent condition, but even damaged coins have their place in the market. The 1957 large date with D mint mark in full damage condition, such as scratches, heavy wear, and other forms of significant deterioration, can still have value. Here's why. First, let's talk about rarity. While many damaged coins aren't worth much, certain years and mint marks, like the 1957 D, can still attract attention. This is because the coin's historical significance, combined with its unique features, can appeal to niche collectors or those looking to complete their sets. Another factor is the current market demand. Prices for damaged coins can vary significantly based on factors like the extent of the damage, the rarity of the coin, and the overall collector interest. For a 1957 large date with D mint mark in full damage condition, the value is typically lower than an uncirculated or even a well-worn example. However, it still holds some collectible appeal. Now let's get into the numbers. As of today, a 1957 large date with a D mint mark in full damage condition is generally valued around $30,000. This might seem low compared to pristine specimens, but it's important to remember that even damaged coins have a niche market. On auction sites and from coin dealers, you might find this coin listed for slightly different prices based on its specific condition and the seller's expectations. Some collectors might be willing to pay a bit more if they're looking for that exact year and mint mark to complete their collection. If you have a 1957 large date with D mint mark in less than perfect condition, here are a few tips for collectors. First, always check the market trends and recent auction results. Even damaged coins can fluctuate in value. Second, consider preserving the coin in its current state. Cleaning or altering it can significantly decrease its value. Store your coin in a protective holder or capsule to prevent further damage. This can be crucial for maintaining its value, even if it's already been damaged. And that wraps up our deep dive into the value of the 1957 Lincoln Wheat 1 penny large date with D mint mark in full damage condition, whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out. Next up, the 1980 Washington quarter dollar, specifically the large date variety with the D mint mark, even if it's in a less than pristine, dirty condition. If you're a collector or just curious about the coin market, stick around as we uncover what makes this coin so special and valuable in today's auction scene. Let's start with a bit of history. The Washington quarter dollar was first minted in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Fast forward to 1980, and we see the coin in its modern design, but with some interesting variations that collectors watch closely. The 1980 Washington quarter is notable for having two distinct varieties, the large date and the small date. The large date variety, which we're focusing on today, features numerals that are larger and more spaced out compared to the small date version. This difference might seem subtle, but it's crucial for collectors. Next, we have the D mint mark, indicating that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint. Coins with this mint mark are quite common, but the value of a specific year and variety can vary greatly depending on its condition. Now, let's talk about condition. The term dirty condition might sound less appealing, but it doesn't mean the coin is worthless. Coins in dirty condition have not been cleaned and often show signs of wear, tarnish, or grime. This can impact their value, but they are still collectible. So what's the value of a 1980 Washington quarter dollar in dirty condition? According to recent auction results, even in a less than perfect state, this coin can fetch a surprising amount. Typically, these quarters in dirty condition range from about $22,000, depending on other factors like specific wear patterns and the presence of any unique characteristics. In more recent auctions, we've seen some of these quarters sell for a bit more, especially if they have rare traits or if the market is particularly active, collectors are always on the lookout for these coins, whether they're pristine or worn due to their historical significance and the intrigue of their variations. If you're a collector or thinking of investing, make sure to handle these coins carefully and consider having them professionally appraised if you believe yours might be a particularly valuable specimen. To summarize, while a 1980 Washington quarter dollar with the large date and D mint mark in dirty condition may not fetch the highest prices, it still holds value in the market. Whether you're adding it to your collection or looking to sell, understanding its worth and the factors that influence its value can make all the difference. Next up, the 1946 Lincoln wheat penny with a large date, no mint mark, and a unique black color shade. If you're curious about its value in today's market, stick around. You might be surprised by what this little penny could be worth. Let's start with a bit of history. The Lincoln wheat penny, first minted in 1909, is one of the most iconic coins in American history. The 1946 penny is part of this long-running series, which features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and two wheat stalks on the reverse, a design that remained in place until 1958. In 1946, the United States was recovering from World War II, and this penny was minted in huge numbers, over 1 billion to be exact. That's why the 1946 penny is relatively common in general circulation. However, certain characteristics can make some of these coins more valuable than others. Now, what makes the 1946 Lincoln wheat penny we're discussing today stand out? First, the large date. The numbers in the year 1946 are distinctly larger, which can be a point of interest for some collectors. Another unique aspect is the black color shade. This darkened appearance often results from environmental factors, such as prolonged exposure to certain elements or a natural aging process that can give the coin a distinctive look. While it might not be rare, this black color can make the coin more visually interesting and potentially more valuable to certain collectors. So what's the value of a 1946 large date Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark, in good condition, and with this black color shade? Let's break it down. In the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state, with good condition being somewhere in the middle. A 1946 penny in good condition with large date and no mint mark typically ranges in value from about $22,000 or more if it's just a standard example. However, the black color shade adds a layer of uniqueness. While it doesn't necessarily increase the coin's monetary value significantly, it does add to its collectability, especially if the color is uniform and not the result of damage or corrosion. In today's market, a 1946 Lincoln wheat penny like this could fetch between $26,000, depending on how desirable it is to specific collectors. If you're lucky enough to own a 1946 large date penny with this kind of black coloration, here are a few tips. First, don't clean the coin. Cleaning can strip away its natural patina, which is a big part of its appeal and can significantly lower its value. Instead, store the coin in a protective holder or capsule to preserve its condition. Even though it's not a high-value coin, proper storage ensures it remains in good condition, which is crucial for maintaining its value over time. Next up, the 1983 Washington quarter dollar with a large date and the P mint mark. If you're curious about what makes this coin special and how much it's worth in today's auction market, then you're in the right place. Stick around, because we're going to explore the history, key features, and of course, the current market value of this valuable coin. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since its introduction in 1932, honoring the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, but not all Washington quarters are created equal. Some have become highly sought after by collectors, especially those from specific years or with certain mint marks. The 1983 Washington quarter is one such coin that has caught the eye of collectors and numismatists alike. Before we get into the value of the 1983 Washington quarter, let's take a quick look at the coin's background. The 1983 Washington quarter was minted at 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The one we're focusing on today was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is indicated by the P mint mark on the obverse side of the coin, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. The Philadelphia Mint produced a whopping 673,535,000 Washington quarters in 1983. While this might seem like a large number, certain factors make this coin more valuable than others from different years or mints. First, let's talk about the large date feature. In 1983, the date on the quarter was struck in a slightly larger font compared to other years. This subtle difference has become a point of interest for collectors, especially when combined with the P mint mark. But what really makes the 1983 Washington quarter with the P mint mark valuable? It all comes down to condition and rarity. Many of the quarters produced during this time were used heavily in circulation, which means that finding one in good condition is quite rare. So, how much is a 1983 Washington quarter with a large date and P mint mark worth in today's auction market? The value can vary significantly depending on the coin's condition. But for one in good condition, which means it's circulated but still retains most of its original details and has minimal wear, you can expect to fetch between $27,000 at auction. Coins in better condition, such as those graded as extremely fine XF or about uncirculated O, can sell for even higher prices, sometimes reaching up to $30,000 or more. However, it's important to remember that the actual auction price can fluctuate based on demand, the rarity of the coin in a particular grade, and the presence of any unique features like errors or toning. Grading is key when determining a coin's value. A coin that has been professionally graded by a recognized authority like PCGS or NGC will generally command a higher price at auction. So, if you have a 1983 Washington quarter with P mint mark that you believe is in good condition, it might be worth getting it graded to maximize its value. In recent auctions, we've seen some impressive results for 1983 Washington quarters. For example, a 1983 P quarter in almost uncirculated condition recently sold for around $34,000, while a gem quality example could go for several $100s. The key is to ensure your coin is in the best possible condition before putting it up for auction. So there you have it. The 1983 Washington quarter with a large date and P mint mark is a valuable coin that could be worth a nice sum in today's market. Especially if it's in good condition. If you have one of these coins in your collection, it might be time to take a closer look and consider its potential value. Next up, the 1926 Lincoln Wheat penny with a large date and no mint mark. If you're a coin collector or just curious about vintage pennies, you won't want to miss this. We'll explore the coin's background, what makes it valuable, and its current market value. Let's get started. To appreciate the value of the 1926 Lincoln Wheat penny, let's start with some historical context. The Lincoln Wheat penny was first minted in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. The coin features Lincoln on the obverse and two stalks of wheat on the reverse, an iconic design that was used until 1958. In 1926, the United States was in the midst of the Roaring Twenties, a period of economic prosperity. The coin's design remained largely unchanged during this time, but subtle variations like the large date on the 1926 penny make it a point of interest for collectors. The 1926 penny is known for having two date styles, the large date and the small date. The large date is characterized by its noticeably bigger numbers compared to the small date version. This difference is subtle but significant to collectors. Additionally, the 1926 penny has no mint mark, indicating it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint. Mint marks can add a layer of rarity to a coin, but the absence of one on this penny doesn't diminish its collectible value. Now let's talk value. The 1926 Lincoln Wheat penny, especially in very fine condition, is a sought-after coin. The very fine grade indicates that the coin shows moderate wear, but still retains most of its details and has a clear design. Coins in very fine condition have visible details, with only light wear on the highest points of the design. For the 1926 large date penny without mint mark, this condition is highly desirable. In today's market, the value of a 1926 Lincoln Wheat penny in very fine condition typically ranges from $36,000. This range can vary based on specific details such as the coin's overall appearance and any unique characteristics it may have. Prices can fluctuate depending on market demand and recent auction results. For instance, well-preserved examples or those with exceptional eye appeal may command higher prices. Keeping an eye on auction sites and consulting with coin dealers can help you stay updated on current market trends. If you own a 1926 large date penny, here are a few tips to maintain its value. First, avoid cleaning the coin. Cleaning can damage the surface and lower its collectible value. Instead, store the coin in a protective holder or capsule to preserve its condition. Proper storage is crucial. Use a coin holder or a soft cloth pouch to keep your coin safe from scratches and environmental damage. This will help maintain its value and keep it looking its best. If you're considering selling or buying a 1926 penny, having it graded by a professional coin grading service can provide a clear assessment of its condition and value. This can also help establish a fair market price. Next up, the 1966 Washington quarter dollar with a large date and no mint mark. If you've got one of these coins in dirty condition, you might be surprised by its potential value in today's auction market. Stick around to find out more. The Washington quarter has been a beloved coin since it was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. But not all quarters are created equal. Some have become quite valuable over the years, and the 1966 Washington quarter is one that collectors are keeping an eye on. Let's start with a bit of background. The 1966 Washington quarter was part of a transitional period in U.S. coinage. By 1965, the U.S. Mint had eliminated silver from quarters, switching to a copper-nickel composition due to rising silver prices. The 1966 quarter is made of this new copper-nickel-clad material, and like all quarters from that year, it does not have a mint mark regardless of where it was minted. What makes the 1966 quarter interesting is the absence of a mint mark, which was a deliberate decision by the U.S. Mint during the mid-1960s. This was done to discourage hoarding of coins as the mint transitioned away from silver. As a result, all quarters produced in 1966 look identical, regardless of which mint they were produced in. Now let's talk about the large date feature. The date on the 1966 Washington quarter is prominent and easy to spot, making it a key identifying feature for this particular coin. But if your 1966 quarter is in dirty condition, don't worry, there's still a market for these coins. So how much is a 1966 Washington quarter with a large date and no mint mark worth in today's auction market for a coin in dirty condition, which means it shows significant signs of wear and exposure to elements but still retains its identifiable features? You can expect it to fetch anywhere from $20,000 at auction. Coins in better condition, like those that are cleaned up or show less wear, can command higher prices, often ranging from $20 to $50 or more, especially if they've been graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Even in dirty condition, the coin's value can surprise you, especially if it has any unique features or toning that collectors find appealing. Remember, when it comes to coin collecting, condition is everything. A coin that's been professionally graded will generally sell for more, but even an ungraded 1966 quarter can be a nice addition to your collection, or it might attract the right buyer at auction. In recent auctions, we've seen 1966 quarters in various conditions sell for competitive prices. Some in better condition have even reached prices of $35,000 or more, depending on the interest of the buyers and the overall rarity of the coin in that specific grade. Next up, the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and no mint mark. This penny might seem common at first glance, but its history and value in today's market make it worth a deeper dive. So, how much is it worth in fine condition? Stick around to find out. Let's start with a little history. The Lincoln wheat penny has been a staple in American coinage since 1909, celebrating the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The 1945 penny is part of that long-running series featuring Lincoln's profile on the obverse and the classic wheat ears on the reverse. In 1945, the United States was at the tail end of World War II. During this time, coin production was in full swing, and the Philadelphia Mint produced over 1 billion pennies that year, which is why you won't see a mint mark on this coin. Despite its large mintage, certain factors can still make this coin valuable to collectors. So what makes the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny unique? First, the large date is a notable feature. The numbers in the year 1945 are prominent and well-defined, which can be a point of interest for collectors. Now let's talk about condition. A coin in fine condition means it has been circulated, showing moderate wear but still retaining much of its original detail. For this 1945 penny, you'll likely see some smoothing on Lincoln's cheek and the wheat stalks, but the key details are still visible. Now onto the big question: how much is a 1945 Lincoln wheat penny in fine condition worth in today's market? Given the high number of these coins produced, the 1945 penny is relatively common. However, its value still holds interest for collectors, especially those looking to complete a set. In today's market, a 1945 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in fine condition typically values between $35,000 or more. It might not be a fortune, but for a coin that's nearly 80 years old and was once in everyday circulation, it's a nice piece of history to own. If your 1945 penny is particularly well preserved, with even wear and a clear date, it could fetch a bit more, possibly closer to $40,000. Remember, the appeal to collectors is not just in the monetary value, but also in the story each coin tells. If you have a 1945 Lincoln wheat penny, here are a few tips to ensure it stays in the best condition possible. First, avoid cleaning the coin. Cleaning can strip away its natural patina and diminish its value. Store your coin in a protective holder or capsule to prevent further wear and tear. Even if the coin isn't worth a lot, preserving its condition is crucial for its historical value. Lastly, keep an eye on the market. Prices can fluctuate based on demand and the overall interest in Lincoln wheat pennies. While it's unlikely that the value of a 1945 penny will skyrocket, it's always good to stay informed. In conclusion, the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny, with a large date, no mint mark, and in fine condition, is a wonderful piece of American history. While it may not be the most valuable coin in your collection, its story and place in history. Next up, the 1970 Washington quarter dollar with the large date and no mint mark, particularly in extra fine condition. If you're passionate about numismatics or just curious about coin values, you're in for a treat. First, let's dive into the details. The Washington quarter dollar, introduced in 1932, has been a staple of American coinage honoring the nation's first president. By 1970, the design was well established, but there were still some interesting variations that catch the eye of collectors. One key variation in 1970 is the large date versus the small date. The large date variety features numerals that are larger and more spaced out compared to the small date version. This subtle difference is crucial for collectors as it can significantly influence the coin's value. Now, let's discuss the absence of a mint mark. Coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint, including those from 1970, typically do not have a mint mark. This is a stark contrast to those minted at Denver or San Francisco, which do carry their respective mint marks. Moving on to the coin's condition, extra fine is a grade that falls between fine and about uncirculated on the grading scale. An extra fine coin shows minimal wear. With most of the design details still sharp and clear, there might be some light wear on the highest points of the design, but overall the coin maintains its impressive appearance. So what's the value of a 1970 Washington quarter dollar with the large date and no mint mark in extra fine condition, according to recent auction results? These coins generally range in value from $35,000. Factors influencing this range include the coin's exact condition, overall appeal, and current market demand. In the auction market, coins like this one can sometimes command higher prices, especially if the coin is exceptionally well preserved or if there's strong collector interest at the time. Always keep an eye on current trends and auction results to gauge the best time to buy or sell. If you own a 1970 Washington quarter dollar and are considering its market value, it's advisable to have it professionally graded. A professional assessment ensures that you have an accurate understanding of your coin's condition and value, which can help you make more informed decisions. To wrap things up, the 1970 Washington quarter dollar with the large date and no mint mark in extra fine condition holds a respectable value in the coin market. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, knowing the specifics of your coin can greatly enhance your collecting experience. Next up, the 1934 Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and no mint mark. This penny may not be the rarest, but it has a rich history and an interesting place in the coin collecting world. If you're curious about its value in today's market, especially in good condition, stick around. This is going to be an exciting dive. Let's kick things off with a bit of history. The Lincoln wheat penny series, which started in 1909, has been a beloved part of American coinage for over a century. The 1934 penny, in particular, comes from an interesting period in U.S. history. It was minted during the Great Depression, a time when every penny counted, literally. In 1934, the country was slowly recovering from the economic hardships of the Depression, and the Philadelphia Mint produced over 219 million of these pennies. This large mintage is why the 1934 penny doesn't have a mint mark. It was made in Philadelphia, which didn't mark their pennies at that time. So what sets the 1934 Lincoln wheat penny apart? First, the large date is a notable feature. The numbers in the year 1934 are bold and prominent, making it easy to distinguish from other coins. Now, let's talk about the condition. The coin we're focusing on today is in good condition. This means it has seen significant circulation, with noticeable wear. You might see smoothing on Lincoln's face and the wheat stalks on the reverse, but the important details like the date and the general design are still visible. Coins in good condition are lower on the grading scale, but still hold value, especially for collectors looking to complete a set. Now, onto the big question: how much is a 1934 Lincoln wheat penny in good condition worth in today's market? Given its large mintage and commonality, the 1934 penny isn't considered rare. However, it still holds value, particularly for those who appreciate its historical significance. In today's market, a 1934 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in good condition typically values between $25,000. While it may not seem like much, it's important to remember that this penny was once just a small part of everyday transactions. Now, it's a collectible piece of history. If your 1934 penny is particularly well preserved, even in good condition, it could fetch a bit more, possibly up to $28,000 or more. While the monetary value might not be high, the sentimental and historical value of owning a piece of the 1930s is something collectors truly appreciate. If you have a 1934 Lincoln wheat penny, here are a few tips to keep it in the best condition possible. First, avoid cleaning the coin. Cleaning can reduce its value by stripping away its natural patina, which collectors often prize. Store your coin in a protective holder or capsule to prevent further wear and tear. Even if the coin isn't worth a lot, preserving its condition is important for its historical value. Lastly, keep an eye on the market. Prices for common coins like the 1934 penny can fluctuate slightly based on demand and overall interest in Lincoln wheat pennies. While the value might not increase significantly, it's always good to stay informed. In conclusion, the 1934 Lincoln wheat penny, with a large date, no mint mark, and in good condition, is a charming piece of American history. While it might not be the most valuable coin in your collection, it's a wonderful reminder of the past and a great addition to any coin set. Next up, the 1985 Washington quarter dollar with the large date and D mint mark, particularly in fine condition. If you're passionate about coins or just curious about their market values, you're in the right place. Let's start with the basics. The Washington quarter dollar has been a staple in American coinage since 1932. Celebrating the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth by 1985, the coin was in its modern form, but with some interesting variations that can affect its value. The 1985 Washington quarter features two distinct varieties, the large date and the small date. The large date variety has numerals that are larger and more spaced out compared to the small date. This difference, although subtle, is crucial for collectors and can significantly impact the coin's value. Additionally, the D mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint. While quarters from this mint are relatively common, specific years and varieties can still attract significant interest from collectors. Now let's discuss what fine condition means. In numismatics, coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with fine typically referring to a grade of 12 to 15. In this condition, the coin will show moderate wear, but still retains many of its finer details. The design elements are clear, although they may be slightly worn. So, what can you expect in terms of value? According to recent auction data, a 1985 Washington quarter dollar with the large date and D mint mark in fine condition can be valued between $10 and $30. The exact value depends on several factors, including the specific wear patterns and overall appeal of the coin. In the current auction market, these quarters can sometimes fetch higher prices, especially if they are in particularly good fine condition or if the demand for this specific variety is high. Collectors are often looking for well-preserved examples of this coin, and that can drive up its value. If you have a 1985 Washington quarter dollar and you're considering selling it or adding it to your collection, it's a good idea to have it professionally appraised. The grading of your coin can significantly impact its market value, so understanding its condition is crucial. To summarize, while the 1985 Washington quarter dollar with the large date and D mint mark in fine condition may not be the highest value coin on the market, it still holds a respectable place among collectors. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or simply appreciate its historical significance, knowing its value helps you make informed decisions. Next up, the 1955 Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and no mint mark. This coin is especially interesting because of its historical context and the value it holds in today's market. So if you've got one of these in very fine condition, you're going to want to stick around to find out how much it's worth. Let's start with a bit of background on this coin. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series was minted from 1909 to 1958, and the 1955 penny is one of the last in the series. It was minted in Philadelphia, which is why you won't see a mint mark on this coin. In 1955, the United States was booming with post-war prosperity. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 330 million of these pennies that year. While that might sound like a lot, certain aspects of the 1955 penny make it particularly noteworthy among collectors. So what makes the 1955 Lincoln Wheat Penny stand out? The large date is one of its key features. The numbers in the year 1955 are bold and clear, making it easy to identify. But what really catches the attention of collectors is the potential for a variety of errors, although those are separate from what we're discussing today. Today we're focusing on the 1955 penny in very fine condition. A coin in very fine condition shows some signs of wear from circulation, but the details are still sharp. You'll see slight smoothing on Lincoln's cheek and the wheat stalks on the reverse, but all the main features are intact and clear. Now, let's get to the part you're all waiting for. How much is this 1955 Lincoln Wheat Penny worth in today's market, given its high mintage? The 1955 penny is relatively common, but a coin in very fine condition still holds value among collectors. In today's market, a 1955 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark in very fine condition typically values between $30,000. While it's not a fortune, it's a respectable value for a coin that's been in circulation for nearly 70 years. If your 1955 penny is particularly well preserved with minimal wear and strong details, it could fetch a bit more closer to the higher end of that range. And if you're lucky enough to have one with a rare error, its value could be significantly higher. If you have a 1955 Lincoln Wheat Penny, here are a few tips to maintain its value. First, avoid cleaning the coin. Cleaning can remove the natural patina that collectors value and can reduce the coin's worth. Store your coin in a protective holder or capsule to prevent further wear and tear. Keeping your coin in its best possible condition will help preserve its value over time. Finally, stay updated on market trends. While the 1955 penny's value is relatively stable, the coin market can be influenced by demand and trends in collecting. Knowing when to buy or sell can make a difference in your coin's final value. In conclusion, the 1955 Lincoln Wheat Penny with a large date, no mint mark, and in very fine condition is a fantastic piece of American history, while it may not make you rich. It's a valuable addition to any coin collection, both for its historical significance and its place in the Lincoln Wheat series. Next up, the 1990 Washington quarter dollar with a large date and D mint mark. If you have one of these coins in fine condition, you might be sitting on a small treasure. Stick around as we dive into the history, features, and the current market value of this coin in today's auction market. The Washington quarter has been a mainstay of U.S. currency since 1932, created to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The 1990 Washington quarter is a relatively modern coin, but that doesn't mean it's without value, especially if it has certain desirable features and is in good condition. Let's start with some background on the 1990 Washington quarter. This coin was minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The one we're focusing on today was minted in Denver, which is indicated by the D mint mark on the obverse side of the coin, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. In 1990, the Denver Mint produced over 927 million Washington quarters. While that might sound like a large number, finding one in fine condition with a large date can still make it a sought-after piece for collectors. The large date feature on the 1990 Washington quarter is a key characteristic that collectors look for. The date is prominently struck, making it easy to identify a coin in fine condition, meaning it has some light wear but retains most of its design details. Can hold significant value. So what's the value of a 1990 Washington quarter with a large date and D mint mark in fine condition in today's auction market? While these coins are still relatively common, a well-preserved quarter in fine condition can fetch between $28,000 at auction. Of course, the value can increase if the coin is in better condition. Coins that are graded higher, such as those in extremely fine XF or about uncirculated or condition, can sell for $33,000 or more. The actual price at auction can vary based on factors like demand, rarity in higher grades, and any special characteristics the coin might have. Grading plays a crucial role in determining the value of any coin. A coin professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC will often command a higher price, but even if your 1990 Washington quarter isn't graded, it can still be a valuable addition to your collection or attract interest from buyers. In recent auctions, we've seen 1990 Washington quarters with the D mint mark selling within this price range. The key to getting the best value is ensuring your coin is in as good a condition as possible before selling. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more coin collecting insights. Have any questions or want to share your own coin stories? Drop them in the comments below.